Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video I have the latest from the live radar. And for the latest UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. We are still going to see some rain around over the next few days, but generally speaking, temperatures will be on the up, and it should hopefully turn drier as we head towards the weekend, as we start to see higher pressure moving in. Initially, the next few days, as I said, aren't going to be anything too remarkable, but back towards the mid-20s, and as we head into next week, it is looking pretty likely now we do reach heatwave conditions once again as we do start next working week. The latest UKV has widely 30 to 33 degrees on Monday, so not extreme heat, but definitely hot conditions that will, as I said, exceed those heatwave thresholds in many portions of England and Wales. It is looking likely to continue to beyond that, as we'll see from the latest longer range charts as we do head into the middle third of the month. Lots more dry and hot conditions around. There are some runs do bring some lower pressure nearby. It probably won't spoil the temperatures all too much. Still would be hot, but it could introduce instability, some moisture, and we could see some thunderstorms developing. But at the moment, that is more medium to longer range. Not going to see that in the next sort of 5 to 7 days, at least at the moment. So yes, if you are looking forward to some more warmth returning, I know the start of August hasn't been particularly great so far, then yes, we have got some heat, potentially heat wave conditions arriving next week. So do remember, if you enjoy the videos, do like and subscribe. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see it's mostly dry for England, Wales and Scotland at the moment. It's been a pretty pleasant day, lots of sunshine and feeling warmer, feeling like a summer day today. Nothing remarkable, but feeling a lot better, not as fresh as it was to start the week, of course, with storm florists moving through. We have got some rain moving in from the west, and this is going to give some light on and off rain overnight and into Thursday for some areas. For others, it will just give more of a blanket of cloud, unfortunately, so perhaps a little bit more of a dull Thursday, maybe into Friday as well, before this does clear and the high pressure southerly winds start to arrive for the weekend. Now, I'm calling this around 9 p.m, and you see temperatures aren't too warm today, but they're not bad at either, hovering around average, and in that sunshine earlier, feeling hotter than that. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see that rain moving through this evening. It is going to linger as we head into Thursday, but most areas it's just going to be some thick cloud, maybe some on and off rain. But before, as we head into evening, the cloud does start to dissipate, but could linger a little bit there, as I said, into Friday morning. Could see some further showers across northern Scotland into Friday, but most are going to be dry, hopefully sunny. Hopefully these high-level clouds do dissipate away. Into Saturday, another weak weather front approaching from the north, but not doing much. Most further southwards are dry and sunny and increasingly warm, and you start to see that really into Sunday, where the wind direction comes to more of a south to southwesterly, with this weather front heading northwards, again bringing some rain in those western areas. And you can see it is pretty heavy into Monday morning, but once that clears into Monday afternoon, to the south of that cloud and rain, it is starting to turn hot, those heat wave conditions arriving, and we're hoping in the following days the heat and the high pressure is going to extend northwards. So at the moment, yes, unfortunately Scotland, those northern areas are going to be a little bit more disappointing than southern areas, but at the moment we are expecting it to eventually transition northwards as well. If you look at the upper air temperatures, nothing remarkable really over the next few days, hovering around the mid to high single digits, double digits flirting with the far south coast there through Thursday into Friday. And you see slowly as we head later on through the weekend and start of next week, we start to see those warm conditions really starting to arrive. And you see up towards 20-degree isotherm trying to flirt with the far south. That is definitely optimistic. Most runs have us around the mid-teens, which is kind of low 30s territory. This would look at mid to high 30s if this properly pushed in. So I'm a little bit sceptical of seeing extreme heat next week, but it's definitely a possibility as these air masses do head our way. Now, if you look at the max temperature, see earlier today, widely high teens or low 20s, nothing remarkable, but feeling warm in the sun. As we head into Thursday, perhaps 24, 25, so looking a bit more pleasant there. Into Friday, temperatures again more widely 20 to 25, not too bad. And Saturday, maybe even getting up towards 26 or 27. The same can be said for Sunday, a more widespread mid-20s, lots of 26 and 27s there. And then Monday, heat really building as we head into the afternoon. A large portion of England into Wales there, widely 28 to 32 degrees. Could see an isolated 33 somewhere within that. So yes, definitely turning much warmer, if not hotter there into Monday. And we're expecting these reds and dark oranges to transition northwards in the subsequent days. Now, if you look at the latest GFS, you see a westerly flow at the moment, nothing too remarkable. But you can see slowly as we head into the weekend, we start to see the high pressure nudging in from the south, and you see it start to take over for all, not only for southern England, but also for Scotland there, and that will give those heatwave conditions more widely. Now, it stays hot and dry all the way through to kind of the end of the week. There is the risk of some of these lows making an appearance. Again, could break through, bring a bit of instability, showers, storms, a possibility. But as I said, we're looking at the day 10 time frame by this point. Beyond that, again, high pressure does get broken apart by a little low there as we head to around day 12, day 13. And then slowly beyond that, high pressure actually returns once again, and it looks drier and pleasant once again. So not too bad there, out towards 384 hours. So looking much, much nicer out there. But you can see as we head into kind of the short range into next week, look at that. Even the GFS actually does flirt with a 20 graus firm. It doesn't push it in, so unlikely to see extreme heat at this stage, but definitely the warmth and the hot conditions, even getting towards northern Scotland there by Wednesday and Thursday. Now, if you compare to the GM, it's broadly very similar. High pressure in control into next week, looking dry and fine. Maybe later on next week, we could flirt with lower pressure from the west and the north, but eventually that does kind of subside and high pressure does firmly get back in control. There is a bit of a low pressure system, a cut-off low, a little bit of instability. It's not really well structured, but it's a light trough appearing there towards the Bay of Biscay and northern Spain, and that could encourage a few storms, but also encourage more of a southerly flow, so it can actually push the heat back in towards day 10. So although yes, instability could be there could be some more showers and storms, it actually encourages another round of potentially extreme heat there towards day 10. And finally, if we check out the latest ECMWF, again, very similar over the coming days, high pressure firmly building in into next week. That pesky low arrives later on in the week, but high pressure is back in control by the following weekend. So definitely it's looking drier and hotter next week, but it doesn't look bone dry for all at this stage. Definitely a possibility of some showers and storms midweek perhaps, before high pressure looks like it could return in the subsequent days. Now, if you look at the latest ensembles, you can see hovering around average over the next few days, and that's symbolic with the low to mid-20s at the surface. As we head into early next week, around the 10th, 11th, 12th, you see those temperatures start to skyrocket as we do head towards the 30-degree range. You see the upper end temperatures up towards the mid to high teens for the majority of runs here from the GFS. It does drop off a little bit beyond that, but still stays significantly above average, with some really hot runs appearing there still in the longer term. So just more uncertainty. And you see precipitation is very up and down as well, but definitely starting to see a few more frequent spikes around the 13th, 14th, which again could be symbolic of potentially that little low pressure system making more of an appearance. Again, we'll keep a close eye on that. You can see 2 meters temperatures definitely rising next week, more towards the high 20s or touching low 30s. Again, we'll have to firm up those details in the next few days. You can see sea level pressure is generally high, but there's that dip starting to appear perhaps Wednesday, Thursday next week. That could be that little pesky low approaching. So that's around 7 or 8 days time. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. And finally, if we compare to the latest ECMWF, which was very bullish with heat yesterday, it continues to be hovering around average over the next few days, significantly above average into next week by a good 5 degrees or so, and then slowly returning towards average as we head towards the end of the month. But overall, looking very warm, looking like the middle third is going to be well above average pretty much for all. Precipitation spikes are picking up longer term, but definitely nothing too high. So we are looking at not only hot weather for some next week, but also a lot more dry conditions. A bit of a perfect combination there if you do love some summer heat. So definitely looking on the up as we head into next week. We have been anticipating this for a few days, but we are seeing a lot of confidence now in it. So it definitely looks like we're going to see summer returning with a bit of a vengeance, with a heat wave for some next week. As said though, we'll keep you updated on the exact details, and of course with any of the risks of thunderstorms as we do progress towards the middle of next week. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.